What is up, everybody? It's Dynamic here, and welcome back to another MLW video. Now, today I've come to the second channel because Drew Davis, if you guys don't know already, has officially requested a trade. I wanted to make a video about this sooner, but as you can see, man, I'm here. We're in college. So if y'all didn't know, I am a college student. I'm an old head in the community. So, I mean, the videos aren't going to stop, but, you know, that's why I'm a little bit late with this news. When Drew Davis does get traded, a video on the main channel will be made and I'll explain myself more. But really, this video is just about where I think he's going. Just the kind of decision to kind of trade himself, step down from the managerial role. So this is kind of just going to be a conversation between, you know, me and the fans, you know, really my 2 cents, because I've had a couple people, mostly on Instagram, ask what I thought about it. So I'll talk about it right now. Alrighty, so the first thing that I think is definitely very apparent to talk about is the decision for Drew Davis to kind of step down. I'm guessing that was a decision made between Drew Davis and Caden Irwin. Maybe he's thinking, all right, I'm clearly not doing the best job that I could be. I don't know if Drew Davis felt like either, number one, that he didn't want to be a manager anymore, because if you guys don't know, he's in the Blitzball League, he's in warehouse games, so he's stretched pretty thin between his responsibilities to, you know, play wiffle ball, to play blitzball, stuff like that. But then there's the fact of the matter that, you know, he had been getting a lot of criticism this year, so maybe he thought, hey, it's the best decision for me right now to step down. I don't really know if that was his decision, or maybe he had a conversation with Caden to be like, hey, if it's not going to go well, I'm going to step down. Can you, you know, take the managerial process? I don't know if it was more of a conversation or Drew's decision, but either way, Drew Davis will be getting traded. That is a for sure thing, you guys. I'm telling you right now, there's no way that Drew Davis doesn't get traded. This stuff doesn't happen without a player getting traded. I love that managers have the opportunity to step down. To me, that makes so much sense. Like, for example, when Brendan Zerlag was able to step down and then they trade him to the Cobras, that was a better overall situation for Brendan Zerlag. So it just makes sense, and I like that they did that. I am going to say that I did see a world where I could see Brendan Zerlag being the manager of this team, but it didn't happen, and that's okay. I think Caden is ready for the responsibility, and I think he's the best player on this team. So that makes perfect sense to me right there. All right, so now talking about places and trades that I do think Caden is going to send Drew off to. There's a couple different teams that I think could work. I did post to my Instagram some of these mock trades, so if you want to see stuff like that earlier, I'll leave the link to my Instagram down in the comments, and also I'll leave the link down to my main channel so you guys can see that main channel video. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of stuff that are going to go down to this. In my opinion, Drew is not going to go to these 5 teams I'm about to list. He's not going to go to the Wildcats. Their team is too deep. He's not going to go to the Gators. I think they could fit him in there, but it's too awkward right now with the trade that went down with Sawyer Bean, and it's just not a great fit, so I don't think the Gators. Another team is, I don't think the Mallards. They're in a really good spot. They're a deep team, and I don't really think Drew would get a lot of burn with the Mallards right now in the spot where he'd want to be at. The Diamondbacks are another team that's super deep. They could definitely use Drew's hitting and fielding, but they'd have to cut a main guy out of the rotation, and it's just, it wouldn't work out too well, whether that be like Pishka or Nick Saylor. Some guy would be seeing less time. And then obviously Drew Davis is on the Cobras, so we're going to exclude them, and that leaves us with 3 teams, which are the Predators, the Magic, and Eagles. So Predators, Magic, and Eagles. I put all the mock trades, I believe, on my Instagram, but I'll go through them really quickly. I think Drew's either going to be traded to the Predators or to the Magic. In my opinion, I think the Predators is a little bit more likely because they have a deep roster and could really use his hitting and fielding, and they have the assets to give him away. But I do think that Drew Davis to the Magic would also make a lot of sense, and if that happened, it would not surprise me. But here's what we're going to go with for the Magic trade. I think if they were to trade Drew Davis, they wouldn't be getting a huge return, sadly, because the Magic don't have their first overall pick. They don't have a Game 2 pitcher that they're willing to give up. So I think it would be AJ Ackerman, maybe Trevor Bonham for Drew Davis. So then if it was the Predators making a trade, which is something that I could also see happening, I don't really know which direction they would go. I think they could give up a guy like Brendan Russell. They could give up a guy like Rudy Ramirez. But I do think they're going to give up at least Stephen McLeod and a first-round selection to the Cobras. To me, that makes the most sense. But I don't know. Drew Davis could be going for a lot more than that. And then to the Eagles, I'm kind of 50-50 on what they could do. I think if they were to trade for Drew Davis, Evan Trackman would have to be gone because they need another Game 2 pitcher. And Evan Trackman's pretty reliable, but it'd be kind of hard to trade away a player like that. So that's something that I think is definitely very valid when talking about Drew Davis and, you know, where he's going to go. Also, the Eagles still do have the first-round pick. They're just getting the worst version of that pick between them and the Downtown Diamondbacks. So if that were to be sent off to the Cobras, they would get the worst return from either the Eagles or the Diamondbacks. So that's really all I have for y'all today, man. Let me know what you guys think of the Drew Davis thing. I don't think it's super shocking to me. I mean, it was big news. I was surprised to see it for sure. But I do think it makes sense, and I think it will be better for not only Drew Davis to kind of manage some of his responsibilities going into the future, but better for the Cobras as well. So make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, the main channel, and peace.